heavens are above the earth, so great is his love for those who fear. Psalms 103:11.
When night has fallen, when fear is coming, still you're calling me. When faith is lost and my hope exhausted, you will be my strength. When my mind says I'm not good enough, God, you're enough for me. I've decided I'm not giving up. You won't give up on me. You won't give up on me. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo, echo in my soul. In every season, you keep repeating promises to me. Now there's no stopping what you have started until it is complete. When my mind says I'm not good enough, God, you're enough for me. I've decided I'm not giving up. You won't give up on me. You won't give up on me. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. No, I feel it breaking out like an echo, echo in my soul. When my mind says I'm not good enough, God, you're enough for me. I've decided I'm not giving up. You won't give up on me. You won't give up on me. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out, breaking out. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo, echo in my soul.
Hi, Divine House kids! Today we are going to be starting a new series about a man who has many talents. If you want to share your talents with us, please email us at divinehousesocial@gmail.com. Today's talent features Jameer. Thank you for sharing your talent with us.
Hi Divine House kids. Well, if you haven't noticed, we're starting a very colorful series this week. And for the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about the kinds of colors that you would find in a crayon box. And all of those colors have to do with just one man. Now, the Bible is full of colorful characters. Some of them, they only appear in the Bible for about a chapter or two, like Barak, Gideon, Boaz. Some of them have several chapters that they are stretched into the Bible, like Abraham, Moses, and Joseph. Some of them have entire books dedicated to them, like Ruth, Jonah, and Nehemiah. But there's one guy in the Old Testament who had a very colorful life and had his story stretched out through not one, not two, but 3 books in the Old Testament. And his life had an impact on Israel for centuries after him. His sons and grandsons would become kings. And one of his descendants would be Jesus' dad here on earth. Any idea who that could be? Well, if you guessed David, you're right. Now, just like us, David had his ups and downs. He had his sunny days and he had his rainy days. But as we take a closer look into his life, we're going to see how colorful life can really be when we put our trust in God. Now, David's adventure begins with the color purple. I know it's kind of strange because when we first meet David, he was just a boy tending to his father's sheep. And shepherds did not wear the color purple. That color was reserved for kings. And God had a very big plan in mind for young David. Now, in the Bible, we first read about David in 1 Samuel chapter 16, verses 1 through 13. I know 13 chapters could be kind of long, so I'm going to do my best speed reading to get through this, okay? Here I go.
The Lord said to Samuel, how long will you be filled with sorrow because of Saul? I have refused to have him as king over Israel. Fill your animal horn with oil and go on your way. I am sending you to Jesse in Bethlehem. I have chosen one of his sons to be king. But Samuel said, how can I go? Suppose Saul hears about it, and then he'll kill me. The Lord said, take your young cow with you. Tell the elders of Bethlehem, I have come to offer sacrifice. So Jesse sent for his sons and had him brought in. He looked very healthy, in fine appearance and handsome features. Then the Lord said, get up and anoint him. This is the one. So Samuel got the animal horn that was filled with olive oil. He anointed David in front of his brothers. From that day on, the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully on David. Samuel went back to Ramah.
Now, I know that was really fast and you might not have gotten all of it, but don't worry, we'll go over what we read. Now, Israel asked God for a king, and God chose a man by the name of Saul, but unfortunately, Saul disappointed God greatly. Now, Israel, that was God's country, and its people were God's chosen people. And God said the next leader needed to be a man after my own heart. So what God did is that he needed to choose somebody new. So he sent his prophet Samuel to the house of Jesse. Now Jesse and Samuel, they both thought that, oh, it's going to be one of my older sons who were, they're all tall, strong, handsome, just like Saul was. But God was not looking on the outside for a king. He was looking inside for the right one. And because of that, he chose David. Now, David at that time, he was only a boy. He really hadn't even done anything special. He hadn't even met that giant. What was his name?
Goliath.
Oh yeah, thanks. It was Goliath. He hadn't even met Goliath yet. But God knew that David was destined to wear purple. See, God had a plan for him, the same as God has for you. Does that surprise you? Have you even really thought about God's plan for you? It's okay if you haven't. Unfortunately, as kids, you probably hear, oh, wait till you get older, or wait till you grow up. Sad thing is sometimes us as adults, we sometimes don't see the potential that's really there inside you guys. We know it's there, but we don't always see it. But God, he knows because he's the one that made us and he put that inside all of you. And he has an amazing plan for you. It might not come until you graduate college, or who knows, it might be now that you're still kids. The great thing about God is He is not limited. He is not limited by our age, by our education, or even our maturity. God can inspire kids just as He inspires adults. Take David, for example. He was a very young person that God filled with purpose. Joseph. God told Joseph as a young kid that he was going to save his family, that Joseph would be the one to save his family. Samson, John the Baptist, God told their parents before they were even born that they were going to do amazing things. And guess what? God's also been planning amazing things for your life even before you were born too. The question is, are you going to be ready to obey and follow Jesus so that you can see those amazing things that God has for you? See, David could have ignored Samuel. Saul did, and it cost him his throne. But David was a man made after God's own heart. He led a colorful life, a very colorful life that honored God and that grew God's kingdom. And as we go through this series, I hope that all of you will also commit your hearts to Jesus so that you can see just how amazing God's plan can be for your lives. Take care, kids. We'll see you next week. Bye.